Guys, it's Sarah and I am here to finish up my December daily. So this is going to be days 24 and 25. And then at the end I will do a live flip through for you so you guys can see the album as a whole. And so I'm getting started kind of with day 24. This is almost just a little bit of an extra thing, and it's just going to be my girls' wish lists that they had for Christmas this year and kind of what they were wanting and asking Santa for and all that stuff. So I have two little pictures of them here, and I think those are 3x3s. And so I'm gonna do two little 4x4 pockets here. So I have this basic gray green paper, and I'm gonna use those and I use those as the 4x4s. And then what I'm going to do is just use a little bit of scrap paper on here. So I'm just going to have their pictures on the front, and then I will have their wish lists on the back of them. So I have some gold glitter paper here that I'm just going to cut down a little bit and just use it as a little bit of an accent for each picture. So the first one I'm going to do here is Layla. So I have that 4x4 square, and I'm going to put this little scrap piece of red paper down along with this on the side, the gold, and then put her picture on top. And I'll do the same for Kaylin as well. So while I'm making this, I'm actually Skyping with my friend Jenny, and here I'm talking to her. So we've been trying to Skype and scrap pretty much for a while now, and I finally had some time to sit down and actually do it when the house was quiet, and so finally we were able to do it, and it was a lot of fun. So we just had fun chatting and scrapping and all that. So sometimes if my hands start going, it's because I'm talking to her or if I drink some coffee or something. But as you can see, I have that making a list little card on the back there, and that is where I wrote what the girls were thinking about for this year. So I'm just going to do the same thing here for Kaylin. And Kaylin's I'm going to put on the wrong way because the back side of it has like trees and reindeer on it, so I decided to leave those. And then I realized I had it to the side instead, like, you know, if I had it straight up and down like that, then the back side would be wrong. I hope that makes sense. So I had to just flip it. Okay, so I have that, and then I'm going to write down Kaylin's here. And I had a hard time remembering what they were actually asking for. A few things I know off the top of my head, but Layla's a little bit harder to get information out of. So Kaylin knows exactly what she wants all the time, but Layla a little bit harder. All right, so and now I'm going to add these little gold puffy hearts on here as well. Sorry about my head. I'm kind of leaning forward and talking to Jenny, so hopefully my head doesn't get in there too much. I tried to cut most of that out. Okay, so I have that part done. And now I have to punch holes in this because these are not the same page protectors that came with the album. And I despise doing this. The hole punches don't go through the plastic very well, so that's why I have a hard time. If I had a Crop-A-Dile, I'm sure they would, but those things are expensive. So I just use a little dollar hole punch, but I always have to cut off part of the plastic, like part of the ring there, because it never punches all the way through. It doesn't matter which punch I use. So I think it's just because of the thickness of the plastic. But anyway, got it done. Okay, so now I'm going to start talking and working on my Girl Santa's pictures. I'm sorry my lights are glaring off that. That's a very glossy photo. That's the professional one that we bought. But I have this really large 5x7, and so what I'm doing is I thought about, you know, making a full 6x8 page and putting it on paper and decorating it and all that, but I kind of thought I like the way it would look if it was just almost floating. So there's, you know, there's no paper or anything around it. It just kind of looks like it's floating as you're going through the album. So it's going to end up looking really cool. But on the back side, I decided to layer up a bunch of pattern paper, the scraps there, and I'm going to use this to put my number 25 because this is going to be where day 25 starts. And I have not done 24 yet, I know that, but I kind of got this idea and I went ahead and rolled with it while I had the idea, and then I will go back here in a second and actually do day 24. So I'm layering up some of these pattern papers directly on the back of the picture, the 5x7 picture, and then I will cut them down and embellish a little bit on the picture and then on the back side there as well. All right, so I'm just cutting down all those papers there. So that's going to be what the back side of the picture looks like. And then I am going to use this little die cut that says, Be Merry, Hug Santa. And I'm going to layer that over this little circle that I had printed off probably Pinterest or something, like a little printable sheet, and it just has a bunch of Santa heads on it. So I'm going to use that. And I'm going to stick that directly down, and then I will put that banner right on top of it. And then on the back side, I'm going to use these really large freckled fawn letters. I did not have a C in it, so I just took a G and I'm cutting off part of it to make a C. And so I'm going to put the big DEC there for December. And then I will also have that little circle there that says 25 December, and I will put that on there as well. And that's going to signify the start of December Day, or sorry, Christmas Day. And I really like these big letters. They can make a really big impact. And I'm talking. All right, so I'm going to put this December 25 right there as well, and I'm going to go ahead and pop it up onto some foam squares. And I really like the way that that looks. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back into the page protector. This is a full 6x8 page protector. I'm going to kind of get it in the middle there, so it's not all the way down to the bottom. As you can see, it almost looks like it's floating in the middle, and I'm just going to use my tiny attacher and I'm going to staple it in place through all the layers, through the page protector and through the picture. I'm going to do it on the top and on the bottom so that it stays. And I really like the way that that looks. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and start working on day 24 because I kind of went a little bit out of order. Once I got that idea, I just wanted to go ahead and get it done so I didn't forget it. So now I have our family Christmas card that we sent out this year. So I'm going to just add that directly into my album, which I do every year. I always make sure I include one of our Christmas cards. So I'm just punching holes into it. It's a really thick cardstock that we got at Snapfish. So I just punched holes in it and I'll stick it into my album, and you'll see that when I do the flip through. So now I have all of our pictures that I took on the 24th, and I'm going to start working on those. What I'm cutting down right now is actually a little Santa elf hat that they got when they went and saw Santa. So I'm going to put that directly into my album as well, so I'm punching the holes here. And it was cute. Like, they went and saw Santa and sat on his lap and talked to him and everything, and then he gave them those little hats, kind of like the ones that you just stick around your head and all that. So I just cut it down, and I'm going to stick that directly into the album as well. And now I have my pictures from the 24th, and I'm going to go ahead and start working on them. So this one I had an idea already, and this is the girls in bed the night before Christmas, and they're asleep. And I went in and kind of snapped a picture of them. They are both sleeping in Kaylin's room and on her bed. She has a twin bed, but so they're both laying, one of them on either side of the bed. So they wanted to sleep together that night, so I let them and just took a picture because they were really cute. So I'm using these Studio Calico golden thickers, and I'm spelling out bed. And then I am going to use some October Afternoon mini market stickers here, and I'm going to spell out all snug in there, and so it'll say all snug in their bed. And that is a nice way to kind of take up some of that white space in that picture there. And the lighting in there was terrible. They have their they both have Christmas lights up around in their room, so that's why it looks kind of strange, but I couldn't really turn on the light I didn't want to wake him up. All right, so now I am going to use some pattern paper here. And I'm going to use this leftover piece that I had from the behind the Santa picture, and I'm going to put Brody's picture on here. So this is Brody laying in front of the Christmas tree, and he was just curled up in a little ball and so cute, laying right by the presents. So the little band of paper on the bottom, the black and white, are Christmas trees, so I thought that was nice. And then I have this really large circle. It's like a map looking, and then I'm going to use this little home acrylic word, and this is from Freckled Fawn, and I wanted to put this on here because we were home this year. We are not always home. Sometimes we travel to go see family and stuff, but this year we decided to stay home, so I'm going to put that there. And then I have this little die cut that says it was the best of family times. So I'm going to have that there. And then I also have this 4x6 of the girls with the dogs that my husband took. And I'm going to use one of these little, what are those called? Cardstock, cardstock punch things. And I'm going to use the word joy, and I'm putting some ribbon through it because it does look like it's supposed to kind of be like that. You know, you can put something through it. So I am putting the word joy, and I'm just using some Scotch tape to kind of secure it in place. And I'm going to have it go on the outside of each side here and cut it down a little bit. Making that, and I'm trying to make sure that doesn't go over Brody's face too much. I like the way that that looks there. And then over here I'm going to work on my Harry Potter, because that night we started reading Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and I took a picture of us sitting on my bed, and the girls, you know, all of our feet are in it. So it was cute. I like that picture a lot. So I'm just using up some scraps here, as you can see. And I'm just going through my stuff trying to see if there's anything I want to use. So I have this little button that says joy, and I'm going to go ahead and use that. And I'm talking. And then I'm also going to grab a tag, and then I'm looking at my thickers right here because I'm trying to see if I can spell out Harry Potter with anything, but I really can't. And so I'm going to end up using the mini markets again. But I'm going to use this tag here, and that's where I'm going to put my words. I'm going to stick that down, and then I'm going to go ahead and use these mini markets, and I'm going to use a mix of uppercase and lowercase. I'm not really worrying too much about it, so just whatever I have. So I'm spelling out Harry Potter, showing Jenny. And then I start putting this back, but I realized I want to try to put the word magic on there somewhere, and I looked at those black tiles right there that I had, but the word magic was not on there, so I'm going to end up making my own word using these little basic gray letter stickers here. So I'm using magic, and then I didn't have an A, but I'm going to use an upside down V, and then when I get done with it, I look at it, and the V kind of looks like the Sorting Hat, like it's right there, so I thought it was really cool. It's like, okay, I like that. All right, so now I forgot to put the 24 number on here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So these are my wood veneer 24. So I'm going to put this down. And I'm talking. Oh, I think we were saying goodbye, actually, because she had to go. But all right, and so I have to go take a break, too, and I'm going to come back later, and I'm going to finish up. So now I'm going to work on day 25. Day 25 went pretty quickly because it was just very picture heavy, and I didn't embellish the pictures a whole lot. I just kind of let them be what they were. And so I have this little advertisement that I got from something that came in the mail, and it said Merry Christmas on it, and I really liked the font. So I'm just fussy cutting it out, and I'm going to use that on the first set of pictures. And I have them all cut up and all over the place, so I'm trying to figure out what I want to use first. So I have this page protector that is the 4 squares. So there's 4 squares here. And I'm gonna just put these, start putting some in here. So I have my 2 dogs and my husband drinking coffee, and Layla on one of her Christmas gifts. She got a scooter for Christmas. And now I'm going to use this last one for a journaling spot. I'm just trying to find something that I can journal on. And then I find this piece of paper, so I'm going to cut this down to a 3x4, and I'm going to journal on this one. And then I'm going to look through these word tiles here, and I'm going to pick out the words gifts of love. And that is what I'm going to put down here on the bottom, because that's what my journaling is going to be about. It's just about how we all took our time this year and really put a lot of thought into the gifts that we were giving each other. And we thought about wants and needs. So we didn't just want to spoil each other with random stuff. We really took our time and really put a lot of thought into our gifts, and it really showed when everyone was opening their gifts that we just all were so happy with it, and we were so grateful for everything. And so that's what I am writing on this card here. And then I think I'm going to put a puffy heart on here as well. There we go. I'm going to stick that in. I'm going to have to cut it down a little bit because I didn't cut it down quite enough. And then for the Merry Christmas, I'm going to use some red line tape, and I'm going to stick it right dead center on the front here. And so there's that. So that's kind of the first set there. And then I'm going to start working on the next set, which is going to be these that has the 2 4x6s. So this first picture is of Kaylin, and I'm going to put these letter stickers that say joy on there. She was really happy. Then that one is Layla. And then I am going to work on the back, and I put that picture of my husband's gifts that he loved, and then some more of my girls together after everything was open. And now I'm going to work on the final page in the back, and it's going to be a full 6x8. So I'm just going to use some paper, and these are green Christmas trees, and I'm going to embellish that. And then I'm also going to use another large piece that's red and white, and that's going to be the very back page. And I don't have any other pictures or anything else to really say about it, so I'm just going to keep these very simple. It's kind of just a nice little closing. So what I'm going to do is on the red one here, I have this little half of a border, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on there. It's a little hard to get out. So I'm just going to stick this down, and then that's going to shelf one more little punch thing that I'm going to put on, and I'm going to use this Merry and Bright. And that's going to be the back, and that's going to be it. So that's all I'm going to do. Just kept it simple. And then for this one here, I'm finally going to use this Crafted by Hand and Heart Starbucks sleeve that I kept because I really liked that sentiment on there. And since I crafted this album, I thought it went really nicely. So I'm going to put that on here along with a December sticker right there. I'm going to kind of layer those up together, and then I will have that wood veneer on the bottom that says Great Day. And that's going to complete my album. So I'm going to come back here in just a second and do a flip through for you and show you each page, and talk a little bit more about some of the stuff I did here on this one, so you can kind of see a little bit more detail. And that's going to be it. So I hope you enjoyed my December daily. I hope you enjoyed watching the process. I really love this project. Sometimes it can get a little overwhelming, but for the most part, I love looking back on them every year. All right, so I'll be back in just a second here to talk you through the album. Hey guys, it's Sarah, and I have just finished my December daily, so I wanted to go ahead and do a little flip through of it for you, and I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. I'm glad that I took a little bit of a break from working on it a whole bunch and then finishing it because I was starting to get a little bit burnt out on it before, but when I came back, it just really, the ideas flowed really much better. So again, this is my album, and my little title here says Mary, A December Story, and then I have 2016 in the side here. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in just a little bit, so pardon me, so that you guys can see it a little bit better. And this is my opening page, and this is a silhouette cut from Jen Scow from her shop, so I will leave a link down below, but it is a Christmas tree and it has a whole bunch of stuff in the middle of it, and then I added the stamp that says the most wonderful time of the year along with the frame, and then I added the star sequins on top as well. And then here are some trees. These are 2 little trees that we got for the girls' rooms, and they are 2-foot trees, and so we let them put some ornaments on it, and they love that, so I journaled about that down here for day 1. Day 2 is our Christmas tree, our big one that we went and purchased and decorated, so I talked about that. Here is a birthday party we went to at a place called Bounce City, so I journaled about that on the 3rd. And on the 4th, reading and relaxing, so I have a picture of my Kindle, a book I was reading, and then I had a beer. Day 5 is me and my best friend Lindsay drove to Target, which is an hour and a half away from us, so we made a day trip out of that. Day number 6 and 7 here, I did this little sequins pocket, and I used my fuse tool to fuse the large, I think this is like a 2x6 pocket here that comes in the page protector, and I just sealed it shut and put a little sequins and snowflakes in there. Day 6, I was starting to get sick, so I talked about that, and then day 7, my friends and I did a gift exchange, so I talked about that. Day 8 here is colder temperatures. That's when it really started to get cold. Day 9 I cannot show you because it has to do with my husband's job and I don't talk about that. Day 10 is a girl that we sponsored, and she is in a children's home, so we sponsored her and went and got her a bunch of gifts, and then we took them to her and had a lunch with her. Day number 11 was watching movies, and I was still kind of not feeling well, so I was drinking tea in my Grinch mug, and then we were watching Walking Dead, and we also watched Suicide Squad. And day number 12 was me cleaning up my scrapbook room, so I have a 4x6 picture of my desk that I cut in half, and I was starting to clean up my room a little bit. And day 13 here is a bake sale that I helped out with at my husband's work, so I have the table there, and then it was also a fundraiser meal at Chili's, so we went to that. Day number 14, I was in the hospital. Well, not the hospital, but the clinic. I had to go get medicine, so I kept the medicine bag that they gave me and journaled about it a little bit. And then day number 15 was an ornament exchange that we did. So I have a group of us here, and then that's the ornament I got, and I journaled about it there. Day number 16 was book club, and we did a little gift exchange as well, like a white elephant thing. So I got a pair of socks and a book. This is a little sequins packet that I stuck in here as well. And then I did Misfits down here. That's what the name of our book club is, and did some journaling about the exchange, which was fun. Day number 17, it started snowing. That was our first day of snow. We didn't get a ton that day, but later on in actually January, we had more. But day number 18, the girls got PJs and matching PJs to go with their American Girl dolls from my mother-in-law. She sent those as a gift, so they got to open them a little bit early. So that's them and their stuff. Day number 20, I ran a lot of errands, this is 19 and 20. I ran a lot of errands and I did a lot of booktube filming, so I took one of my thumbnails and printed that out. Day 21, the girls had their last day of school that day, so they had parties and stuff. This is a little headband that my daughter Layla made in her class, so I just talked about that. Day 22, the girls went to the dentist for the first time ever. And day number 23, I ended up in the ER because my infection I had came back, and the clinic, of course, was closed, so I had to go to the ER to get some more antibiotics for that. And then here I have the girls' wish list. I just did a couple of pictures of them, and then on the back I have wish lists of what they wanted for Christmas. This is our family Christmas card, so I just punched holes in that and stuck it in. And then we get on to Christmas Eve, day 24. I have Birdie over by the tree. He's kind of laying down and taking a nap in front of the tree. And I use this little home to signify that we stayed home this year, because we don't always, but we did this year. And this is the girls with the dogs here. And then the girls and I started Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets that night. And then this is the girls. They both slept in Kaylin's bed. And when they sleep in the same bed, they have twin beds, but they sleep opposite. So Kaylin's down here, Layla's down here. But that night they slept in Kaylin's room. So I put all snug in their bed. And this here is from when we went to go see Santa, and it's the little hat that Santa gave them, like a little headband type thing. So I cut it down and stuck it in. This is their Santa picture, and I put a little tag here that says "Be Merry, Hug Santa," and I stapled it in so it's like floating in between, as you can see, because the picture is smaller than 6x8, but I had it floating and I really like that. And then on the back I just layered some pattern paper across it and then used really large letters for December, and then December 25th, and this starts Christmas. So I have a 4x4 block here, and these are just pictures. I only did one little journaling card for Christmas because I didn't have a ton to say about it. The pictures kind of speak for themselves. So this is us on Christmas. My husband drinking from my Grinch mug. Layla on her scooter that she got, and Annabelle and Brody got little treats as well. And then on the back here, Josh is opening a gift. This is a gift I got. This is my big gift. It was a big jewelry box. And then I did my journaling here. And then Kaylin enjoying some of her gifts, and I put joy stickers, Layla enjoying one of hers. These pictures didn't come out great because I had to actually screenshot them from the video that we took, because we didn't actually take pictures. We were just enjoying each other and enjoying the opening. So my husband was taking video on our phones, so I just watched the videos and kind of snapped. I paused it when I found a spot that I wanted to take a picture. So I paused it and then took a screenshot of them. So the quality isn't great. The lighting wasn't great, obviously, on the morning, but it's okay. They're in there. These are gifts that my husband got that he really liked. And then the girls, after all the presents were open, they were just enjoying their stuff. And then the end here, I used my Crafted by Hand and Heart Starbucks sleeve and put a December sticker up there, and then a wood veneer that says Great Day. And then just the back page says Merry and Bright down here with some pattern paper. And that's it. So 2016 December Daily is done. I'm really happy with it, and I hope you guys enjoyed my album and enjoyed seeing the process. Let me know down below if you guys do this project, and if you did, if you finished it for last year already, or if you're sitting on it and need to either catch up or work on it, or if you're just going to wait till later to do it. I would love to know that. All right, I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day. Bye.